Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stampin' Up with Jaimie. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on my Facebook Live tutorial. If you're catching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to look around and certainly ask any questions if you have them. Tonight, I'm sharing a card that features a brand new stamp set from the 2019 holiday catalog. It's called Snowfront. And if you've had a catalog in front of you and you've seen this before, it's going to look sort of similar to our waterfront stamp set that we've had for a couple of years now. Hi, Karen. Hello, Michelle. Hello, hello. So it's kind of like a similar watercolor kind of look. And what's kind of neat about this is there's so many different images to the stamp set that you really can make just about any sort of winter scene, Christmas scene that you would like. It's super versatile. You can do a lot with it. I think this little snowman down here is super cute. Hi, Terry. Good evening. And then you have like this log cabin. You have a couple of cardinals. Hi, Julie. And really fun. This is a great one to like Google or look on Pinterest. Just put Snowfront, Stampin' Up cards and see what comes up, because it's like no two cards are the same. It's so different, kind of the scenes that you can make with it. It's a lot of fun, and it's fairly inexpensive. It is, I don't know off the top of my head. It is, I'm looking for it. Hold on. I'm not going to be able to find it right now. Well, it's not expensive. It's a great investment, and I really feel like you can do a lot with it. And what's great is it's not just like a Christmas stamp set. This is definitely like one that you can definitely use January and February for just winter cards and winter scenes and that sort of thing. So you're definitely going to want to scoop this up. Again, in the 2019 holiday catalog. If you haven't received one yet, would you let me know? I'd be happy to pop one in the mail for you. Hello, Amy from South Carolina. I'll be happy to pop one in the mail for you. Just let me know. Okay. So, what did I do? Oh, here it is. Okay. So my card here is starting off with Cherry Cobbler cardstock. It is our standard 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Kind of like our typical, what is that called? Landscape orientation, I guess. $22. Thank you, Amy. I tried to like flip through quickly. I just couldn't find it. I said the heck with it. And then what I used is a pattern, and I actually picked a different pattern. This is the one I used on kind of the example, but I'm going to use this one for you guys. This is a brand new cardstock, or a designer series paper. Hi, Sandra. Good evening. And let me tell you, I love anything Christmas and plaid, and this paper is gorgeous. It's called Wrapped in Plaid. It's a pack of 6 by 6. It comes with 48 sheets. Colors are Cherry Cobbler, Night of Navy, Shaded Spruce, and Whisper White. And let's see, I don't know if I can kind of make it do justice on here, but there's that pattern. And then there's, of course, all of our designer paper is double-sided. So then you have that one. And then that's the opposite side. Oh my goodness, right, Amy? It's so pretty. I love anything plaid. And I love the hint of blue in it. And some of these patterns, you have a deer one there. I just think plaid and Christmas just kind of go hand in hand. And then they have, what makes it specialty paper is, you see how you're getting the glimmer off of it on camera? It has this gold sort of thread, kind of not woven, but tied into it, which is really pretty. Nice and shiny. Adds a little kind of glimmer to your Christmas cards or holiday cards. That one's pretty too. Oh, I love the stocking. So cute. And then that's more of like just the shaded spruce with more stockings on the back. So that's the paper. Keep in mind that if you participate in my holiday product share, you're going to get a sampling of this paper. You're going to definitely want to buy the whole pack though, because and you get a ton of it. It's beautiful. Look at all these sheets that is a ton of paper right there. I believe you get 4. You get 4 of each double-sided pattern. Okay. So I'm using a different one tonight just because I thought I would kind of change it up a little bit for you. Oops. Change it up for you guys a little. It uses the same color. It's just a little tighter plaid. Although this one has a hint of the Night of Navy. The one that I use doesn't. This one doesn't have any navy in it. This one has a very, I don't even know if you can tell, a very small piece running through this. The plaid is so traditional, which brings me back to childhood memories. Oh, the paper this year is amazing. They hit it out of the park. I agree. Is it packs on your wish list, Michelle? Yes. I agree, Amy. I feel like the paper this I just am such a sucker for designer series paper, but this year, especially their holiday catalog, the paper is just phenomenal. Really, actually makes crafting super easy because it can kind of just stand on its own and with a little sentiment kind of do enough. Hi, Connie. Good evening. Hello, hello. Okay, and then I don't know if you can see, but on my card, see the glimmer? Ooh, it features the new Ice Stampin' Glitter. Hi, Lori from Minnesota. And we're going to use this, and you apply it with the Snowfall Accents. Nope, just kidding. I pulled the wrong thing. You apply it with the Shimmery Crystal Effects. So these two work together, and it gives kind of, I'm trying to get the light to catch it. I've outlined all these images with some glittery snow, so to speak. So really pretty. Okay, so let's just dive in. I'm going to do the one I did. I'm going to do this one a little differently. I think let's play with it a little bit because this snowman was a complete afterthought in my example here. I had done everything and I loved it, but this spot was just so bare and kind of vacant that I threw the snowman on there. But I'm not sure if I necessarily love him there at least. So we're just going to kind of play and have some fun. It's kind of an experiment. First, I'm going to start off with this guy here with the mountain. And I'm going to stamp, I'm sorry, I don't have anything on blocks. So you're going to have to just bear with me as I get them on blocks. I stamped him in gray granite. And then the kind of cluster of trees will be next. And they were done in shaded spruce. And then what's nice is that you have like this big tall tree, and then you have a couple of tinier ones, which is nice to give depth to your card. Because if you stamp the big one in the front and the smaller ones in the back, it gives this idea of depth that this guy is closer than that one. So that's kind of fun. It helps, create this fun depth very easily. And I'm just mounting them. I'm sorry, I don't have everything pre-mounted. Okay, and then this is a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I went ahead and already cut it out using our rectangle stitched framelits. This is measuring about 4 3/8 by 3. Okay, so whatever rectangle that is, that's the one I used. And let me see here. Where's our gray granite? We're going to start with gray granite. Gray granite's a color. It was introduced last year, and honestly, I haven't really used it that much, so I figured it was a great time to pull it out and use it with mountains. It's a great kind of darker than a smoky slate, but not quite as dark as the basic gray. So a nice kind of in-between color. And as always, our stamps always stamp a little bit darker than when they dry. So you'll be able to see once that dries, it'll be more like this one. When I stamped it, I was like, ooh, that's really dark. But once it dries, it definitely does kind of lighten up a little bit. Next, I'm going to take the shaded spruce and that cluster of trees. It's kind of nice. It's like a rolling cluster of trees. I want this set. Yes, it is very similar to the waterfront set. Yes, I think it's almost a little bit more versatile maybe because the waterfront, you kind of had the beach way you could go with it, or you had the mountains that you could go with this. Whereas these, I feel like all of these images really could work together. They really all, although this one I was kind of puzzled by. You'll have to let me know what you think that one is. I couldn't tell if it was like snow or if it was supposed to be used with the pond. I was a little perplexed by this one. So let me know what you think that could be. And maybe I'll have to try it in a different, another card and see what I can come up with. I was a little puzzled by that one. Oh, use them together. Oh, that's clever, Lori. I didn't think about that. Oh, I like that. You'll have to try it. You try it and show me. I would love to see what you come up with. You think it's snow, Michelle? Yeah, I think it might be. Next, I'm taking one of the smaller trees, and I'm actually just going to stamp him off. behind here just to add a couple. I'm taking a different one. There's a couple, there's like 3 sizes. And kind of stamping him to make it a little fuller. And also just give, again, a little bit more depth to it. While I have it, I'm going to stamp that larger tree. There's one tree. A lot of them are kind of small. You have 1, 2, 3 kind of smaller ones, and then this kind of bigger one. I'm going to stamp that one next. You're going to have to bear with me. That's the one thing is I need lots of blocks for this card. I need a bigger block for that one. There we go. This will do. And I think this time I'm going to stamp the trees a little bit, actually, yeah, a little bit more to the left. Maybe like there. Because again, that snowman was kind of an afterthought. I didn't really necessarily even plan on putting a snowman. So let's see if we can kind of do without him. Maybe you could use the dot stamps with the tree branches to add color to the trees. That's clever. That is very, very clever. So you're saying like stamp this kind of over them. Or even that one it would probably stamp over well. Yeah, I would be very interesting to see how people use that. How they interpret that one, for sure. Now, I'm going to do the sentiment next, just because based on where the sentiment is, I can kind of stamp everything around it, but I want to make sure I leave enough room. I'm using the Happiest Christmas Wishes, which comes from the Dashing Deer stamp set. This is a returning one. So it was in last year's holiday catalog. It continued on and is now in our annual catalog. So that's the sentiment right there. And I'm stamping it in the Cherry Cobbler. And I tested it ahead of time, and it seems to be straight on, but just in case you're unfamiliar kind of how I work this, when you're using your red rubber stamps with a sentiment, like in this case, you love the log comment, isn't it so cute? Sometimes how it gets printed out can be a little crooked. So even though we put the label on it and the label is straight, sometimes the back isn't. So what I like to do is just ink it up and then use my grid paper and stamp it as if I think it would be straight. And as long as it comes out straight, I know I can just do it straight on. Now, sometimes it's a little crooked, and so I kind of have to test out until I find kind of the right angle to stamp a red rubber stamp to get it straight. I hope that makes sense. You love the Dashing Deer. I know, me too. I'm so glad it carried over. I think it's for the other tree, the big one, to add leaves. Oh, really? Huh. That's what Bernice was saying. Over the bare tree branches like oaks and use the dots in fall colors of oranges, yellows, oranges, red. Oh my goodness. So you think that goes with, I totally didn't even get that. I didn't even think of that. So that like with those or even with the big one, I suppose. Okay. I gotcha. I totally didn't even get that. I was just a little perplexed. Like, is this supposed to be, I almost made it snow. Thinking it was supposed to be snow. Thank you for helping. I didn't even know. Okay, so that's where we're at now. Now next, I stamped the pond. I don't know if I necessarily am in love with the pond, to be honest, but I like that I did it in the Night of Navy, so it pulls out the blue, which is in the cardstock. So a great way, if you're making a card and you're like, I have no clue what colors to use, pull out a designer series paper that you like and see what colors Stampin' Up! Has put together, and then go off of that. You let that be your inspiration. So that was 100% the inspiration as to the colors I chose for today's card. I'm using all of them, the Cherry Cobbler, Night of Navy, and the Shaded Spruce. Those are all the colors that are in this designer series paper pack, and they go together beautifully. So let's stamp it up to the color coordinating, and we can kind of just get that as our inspiration. I think that it could be snow too, Amy. Okay, that makes me feel a little better because that's kind of where I was leaning. But I was too brave to start stamping it all over my card. Let's see here. I am going to mount up. There's the deer. I'm going to mount up the pond because I think it is cute. And I like that the little deer are kind of standing next to it. I think that's cute. So, And I think the pond kind of has an up and a down. I'm not 100%, but this little curve, I kind of thought that it would be the bottom of the pond. Although, I don't know. There's really no rhyme or reason to me thinking that, except I thought maybe that was just it. Let's stamp the little deer first, because I don't want them to be crowded off. The deer I'm stamping in soft suede. There's our deer. So cute. Aren't they so adorable? Now, the Night of Navy, I actually stamped off first because it's a pretty strong color. Well, I don't know. I thought it would be a pretty strong color just to stamp on. But let me see. Let me stamp on my grid paper and we can get an idea. See, that's pretty dark. And then that's my stamped off color. I think that I like the stamped off color for this card. I don't know about yours, but my Night of Navy ink pad is super, super juicy. And I just wanted a little bit more subtle. So how about there? Aw, Lori says, aw, aren't they cute? I just love them. I think they're so cute. Standing by their pond on a winter night. Now, I kind of had this, what do I want to call it? Like this space, this void in here. And so what I took next was this guy down here. Now, he could just be kind of like a mound of snow, but I'm going to use him sort of as a filler to fill in that gap. I wasn't sure if I was going to need it, so I didn't do it right off the bat. I kind of wanted to stamp everything and then see if I needed a filler, which I think I do. So let me just get another block here. Is that one big enough? Ooh, that is barely big enough. I'm going to do it on this angle. And I think it's supposed to be this way with kind of like the hump at the top, but I'm going to do it upside down. Oh, good. You like the stamped off? Yeah. It's just a little, it's not so strong, I feel like. And I'm just going to stamp this little guy, which I'm calling my filler, just under, kind of under the mountain, rolling underneath the trees. Again, to kind of connect it all. I don't think that's what the purpose of this stamp is, but, you know, it's an artistic stamp set, and so you can kind of make it what you want to make it. And honestly, I could probably even connect it up if I wanted. Do I want to? Decision. I don't think I want to. Let's do that. Leave it at that and see how that dries. Because I think that's fine. Now, my absolute favorite part of this stamp set are these cute cardinals. How adorable are those? Now, we have a male cardinal and a female cardinal. If you know anything about birds, the male cardinal is the red one, and then the female cardinal is more of a brown color. She blends in. The male is red to stand out, to kind of protect her. However, I don't know. I kind of wanted to defy the way things are in nature, and I stamped them both in red. So, I don't know. You're not. Oh, I guess I only did one. I did another version of this, and I stamped both of them, and I stamped them both in red. But I guess on this version, I didn't realize I only did one of them. Anyways, a little cardinal teaching. The male is only supposed to be red, and the female is more of a brown. But she's so pretty. They're both pretty when they're red. That, I don't know. Maybe that's why I only did one this time around. I was like, it's just not the way it's supposed to be. So this is when I brought in the cherry cobbler to kind of tie in the sentiment. And let's see here. I think I'm going to do him over here. Kind of, I don't want to do it too close to the deer because size-wise isn't proportionate. So I'm going to put him in the trees like that. And I like that. I like that a lot better. Stamp the female off once. Oh, you could do that. Yeah. I guess there is a little bit of red in the female, but it's certainly not like the male cardinal. He definitely is like the pop of red. Okay, so you could leave that as is. You could put it on your card front, and it's really pretty, right? Anybody would be very pleased to receive this. They'd be like, wow, look at that. The winter scene, so pretty. However, Stampin' Up! Has added to our holiday catalog this ice Stampin' glitter, and it is so much fun to use. What does Kat say? I'm late for a very important day. Oh, Yes, you'll have to rewatch from the beginning, but stick around if you want. At least now, you know, you put your name in here. So maybe you'll earn the card tonight. That's cute. Okay, so when you're using this glitter, you're also going to need to use it with the shimmery crystal effects. It's how it sticks. It needs something to stick to. This is just powder. It's just kind of glitter. And if I were to pour this on the card, it would just fall right off. So you need the shimmery crystal effects because this is what holds it. And I played with this once, but I figured it was pretty easy, so I would do it on camera again tonight. But if there's any oops, we're just going to have to fix it. Some kind of hints when using the crystal effects. I started kind of using in dots, and I didn't like it as much. I find it's better when used kind of like in a line or an outline of something. I really like it used that as opposed to how I was using it for my card. I was trying to do like dots on the trees that it would be almost like snow glitter. I didn't really like it. So I decided you kind of have to hold it and do an outline, something like that. Hi, Cindy. Thank you so much. Oh, thanks for sharing it. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's just dive in. I don't know if you're going to be able to see what I'm doing on camera, but it's just a squeeze tube. So I'm going to start here and squeeze and kind of outline the mountain because I figured there'd be snow on the mountain. And this one too. Whoop. And I don't know, maybe follow him down. Maybe this guy follow him down too a little bit. I didn't wait too long. I want to definitely put more on this, but I didn't wait until I had it all on there. I definitely wanted to start sprinkling. So this is just like our embossing powder. So sprinkle generously and then tap off any excess and then it's on. Isn't that so pretty? Just the glimmer it adds to the card. I figure my scene was a snow scene and it had just newly fallen snow. So these trees would probably have snow on them as well. So I kind of just followed their outline on most of them. I didn't do it completely. Some of them I just kind of did the tops. I figured the tops would have snow on them. I don't think you can overuse this stuff. It is so pretty. So pretty. So I've just added kind of the gel. It's like a gel. That's definitely how I would describe it. And then generously sprinkle the crystals on it. Tap, tap, tap. Oh, isn't that so pretty? And then, let's see here. These trees definitely need them. Now these guys, you can definitely follow the outline a little bit more because they have a little bit more detail them. So you can kind of squiggle, so to speak, back and forth and follow the outline like so. And this guy too, although I want to be careful of my cardinal. I don't want to cover him up with the crystal effects after going through all the making sure he's on there. Sprinkle generously, just like you would with like your embossing powder. You can sprinkle generously and you can always tap off any excess. No problem. And then you get this amazing glitter on it. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I can see how you could go like a little crazy with it, honestly. You could, you know, do, maybe I will. Let's just do it. Why not? We can do what we want. I think I want to do a little bit down here, kind of like where the snow would accumulate along the mountain, like so. I didn't do it on my original card, but I think I want to do that. And then sprinkle. Now, when you're done with this, you definitely want to let it dry. And it's very, how do I describe that? Like off the card. I feel like once it dries, it kind of shrinks a little bit, I guess is how I would say that. Hold on, I'm just going to get this off without hopefully making a big mess. Okay. That's all I need is to drop that and have crystal glitter all over my floor. Oh, that would be bad. So you can leave it like this and just set it aside and let it dry. Or even what I did is I just took my heat tool and dried it a little quicker. So let's see here. Do I want to do that for you? Let's try it. Hold on, I gotta hook it up. Hold Hold on. And I suppose you could heat from the front, but I'm actually going to heat from the behind. From the behind. From behind is what I wanted to say. To kind of sort of speed up the process. I just let mine sit, so I don't know. It might not work fast enough. Yeah, I think I just want to let it sit because I don't want to accidentally burn my paper. See that there? That dried. You can tell it's not quite as big. But this guy down here is definitely still wet. Anyways, so just be careful when you're using it. I did mat it on a piece of gold foil, and this measures 4.5 by 3 1/8. And because that's tacky, I'm going to put the adhesive on the gold. This just brings out the gold in the paper, the designer series paper, and ties it all together. And it adds just a nice little sparkle. I love using the foil sheets for holiday and Christmas cards. The gold, the silver, and the copper. Just very like traditional colors. In my own house, I decorate with mostly red and gold with little hits of green. So that means, you know, it's very special to me to use the gold. I'm going to blindly go and put adhesive on here just because I don't want to turn this over. I'm just going to squish it. And normally I would add some ribbon, probably tie it around, but I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't pre-order any of the Christmas ribbon. I was so disappointed when I was making this. I'm like, how could I not order not one thing of Christmas ribbon? But that will come in a couple of weeks when I order my product share. But normally I would tie probably some sort of ribbon underneath it just to add another layer. But okay, so that's tonight's card. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me. Again, I used the Snow Front stamp set. It's in the 2019 holiday catalog. If you have yet to receive one, I'd be more than happy to pop one in the mail for you. I have plenty. I ordered more than enough, so just let me know. The card, the designer series paper that I used for today is in my product share, and that just allows you to get a whole bunch of all the new designer series paper, ribbon, and embellishments, a little tasting of it all at a fraction of the price. So thank you for joining me today. This was a lot of fun, and I will see you back next week. Take care. Bye-bye.